So this is where I am today, the Liberty Science Center. I guess it's Jersey City in New Jersey. I read online that they just recently opened their Titanic exhibit, so I'm going to go in and check it out. It's only been open for a few days, I believe. Maybe a week at this point of putting this video out, but anytime there's a Titanic exhibit, I'll always go and see it. Alright, this better be good because it costs like $50 with parking at this place. It's really kind of a ripoff. I have this thing about paying to do these things. It's all good, except paying extra for parking. I think that's such a scam. And usually I don't do it, but I did it here. Also, they say that it's $5 cheaper if you pay online first, if you buy the tickets online, but they don't tell you that it's 24 hours in advance. So it's a little game they play. Anyway, this is what it looks like here. Wow, look at that. All the different currency that's been found, or at least that they have here. Who's on the $5 bill? Interesting. Isn't that crazy that was in the water for, what, 70-something years? It was found in 84? 85, the ship was found. Ratchet screwdriver and bit with locking mechanism. Kind of interesting. Look at that. Dutch boy figurine. May have been a souvenir from passengers' travels, although the glaze is cracked, the original colors are still visible. Whew. This says personal china, so that means somebody brought their own fine china. A bread dish. First class bread dish. We all have that in our homes, don't we? So as amazing as all this stuff is, it's my understanding that all of these thousands and thousands of items that have been brought up are really in jest, in a way. All these different countries and these companies have gone through and rummaged through the ship and pulled up whatever they could, landing on top of the ship, damaging it even more. So it's a bittersweet, in my opinion. It's interesting to be able to see this stuff and learn about it, but at the same time, it's kind of like robbing a grave in a sense. Robert Ballard, I think, said something about that. The man who discovered the Titanic, or found the Titanic. It's a filter frame. And a remote control shaft. You can't really read that, but that's what it is. And as for every single Titanic exhibition, they give you plenty of information and photos about building it and leaving Belfast, you know, the different classes of people. We've all heard that stuff a million times. It's Mr. Andrews. We've all seen the movie. She's made of iron, sir. I assure you, she can sink. And she will. This is pretty interesting that they have little displays put together based on photos and based on what they knew the ship looked like, based on designs. The cost of first class ticket, $2,500, approximately $57,000 in today's money. Wow. The two most luxurious sites on B deck, however, were a staggering $4,500, around $103,000 in today's money. Whew. These cufflinks and buttons, some jewelry. It's crazy to think about where these were at that time of the sinking. You know, who was wearing them or using them. Look at this basin, tip basin and soap dish. I've been to the Titanic exhibit I think I've been to the one in Pigeon Forge, and I've also been to the one in, where in Missouri? Somewhere in Missouri there's one. That one was pretty good too. It had the whole stairs built. I don't know if this place has it, but they had the whole stairs. And I know they all have different things on display. Branson, Missouri. That's where that is. So I was there, and then there's the other one that when I did a whole video from Nova Scotia where they brought a lot of the bodies back and everything. That's a very interesting video. A lot of people are buried there from there, and they had a little museum, and they had some artifacts in there as well. So if you're into that, that's something you might want to see. I don't remember exactly what was up there, but a lot of interesting stuff, definitely. I mean, anything that comes off the Titanic, let's be honest, it's interesting. Some combs and brushes. I like this cherry toothpaste jar lid. The detail is still almost perfect. Look how perfect that is. That's a chamber pot. That is small. It's kind of cool. Like a recreation of boiler at 11:40 p.m. on the night of April 14th in number 6 boiler room on the forward starboard side. Lead fireman Frederick Barrett hears a sudden crunching, then a sound like thunder rolling towards him. I shouted, "Shut all the dampers." That order was obeyed, but the crash came before we had them all shut. There was a rush of water into the stokehole. Together with Mr. Hesketh, I jumped through the doorway into number 5 section. The watertight door between the section was then open, but shut just as we jumped through it. Kind of like in the movie. Wow, Titanic left England carrying 6,000 tons of coal. These are just a few of the 1,500 bottles of wine and 20,000 bottles of beer and ale carried on board Titanic for her maiden voyage. Wow, did they find that in there? That's crazy. Look at the unbelievable how good of shape this is. This sheet music for winter was recovered with over 20 booklets of sheet music from Howard Irwin's suitcase. Jerome H. Remick published this music in 1910. The song was composed by Albert Gumbel with lyrics by Alfred Bryan. Wild. This leather bag, since the tanning process makes leather repellent to microorganisms, a measure of protection is provided both to leather bags and its contents. And just like the bag, the leather shoes are in pretty good shape, all things considered. It says man's shoe. This laced leather shoe was recovered from the wreck site. It is a man's proper right shoe. ventilating porthole. Portholes and windows provided Titanic with both ventilation and lighting. This type of porthole was located close to the waterline, but the large ventilation box was engineered with cork floats to prevent flooding. Wow, this is a first-class chandelier. Dozens of gilded chandeliers and wall sconces adorn the men's first-class smoking room, including this 5-socket chandelier. What's wild is that it's all bent. This is a pretty fantastic model. All in all, it looks like it's about 6 feet long, about 18-20 inches tall. It's awesome. Great detail. Oh wow, is that true? Is that really how it broke in half? Right by the boilers? Wow, I didn't know that. Wow, look at this hair tonic bottle. And these are maybe the labels that are on the back or were on the back. These are belongings to Howard Irwin. I've heard that name before. I think they must have recovered his suitcase intact with all of the stuff in there. Look at that playing card. That must have been exciting, huh, when they pulled that up? Yeah, in 1993, a large leather trunk was recovered from the debris field. It included tools, musical instruments, mementos from their travels, as well as postcards and notebooks. These perfume bottles, despite spending nearly 9 decades on the ocean floor, these vials emitted the scent of the oils they contained when examined during recovery. A wool vest. The vest or waistcoat was found with the belongings of William Henry Allen. It was part of a man's suit or morning outfit, which would have included a jacket or morning coat and coordinating pants. And these old suspenders. A pair of dirty socks. Look at this, an Irish-style walking hat. Look at the condition that's in. Incredible. Alright, this is the thing you do. I guess you scan this. You scan the back of it here. Let's see if I survived. Yeah! Survived. Oh, but died in 1927. So, what do I think of it? It's a decent show. It's a good show. It's $8 extra. So if you're coming here to the Liberty Science Center anyway, then yeah, definitely pay the $8. But I have this thing about the Liberty Science Center. It was really good years and years ago, and then they redid the whole thing, and I just don't think it's that good anymore. And it's expensive. Like I said, it's like with everything, parking and everything, it's like $50. It just seemed it was way more fun years ago. But the Titanic stuff is always interesting. So it just opened sometime this month, just a few days ago, in fact. You know, it's worth coming to see. Is it my favorite Titanic exhibit ever? No, but like I said, it's always interesting to see Titanic stuff. So hope you enjoyed it. See you in the next video.